The man in a frock coat and checkered trousers is Mr. Boyle. Talking to this old man, tourists don't have no slightest idea of that the man they're talking to is a real earl. How often do you receive guests, sir? Rather often. As a rule, people who arrive here come up to reception desk to learn where they can find the Lord, and when they learn that it is me, with a light heart they take a walk. An aristocrat and the 9th Earl of Glasgow lives in a palace built on the top of the hill due to his status. The double eagle, the family emblem on the gates of the palace, is held as a reminder of a battle which gave fame to his ancestors, the Vikings. In a reluctant manner, David Boyle, the Lord's son, demonstrates us their house, where in a public opinion live two bachelor millionaires. The local mass media still don't know that Sir Patrick owes at least £10 million sterling to his creditors. Have you already seen the article about you, dear? No, I haven't. It's published in today's paper. Do you like it? You look fine. Oh yeah, cool photo. Lord Boyle is sure that David is to inherit the title which his grandfathers fought for, but according to Sir Patrick's words, he will be happy if his son would marry a rich bride, even a foreign one. I've advised him to marry a rich girl from your country. You already know that our official emblems are similar, and I like daughters of Russian oligarchs. It's a pity my son took this idea too thoughtlessly. A long time ago, the ancestors of the Boyle clan, headed by him, filled this house with valuables brought from the British colonies. But now they are all gone. The maintenance of the house costs a fortune, and most of the jewelry had to be put in a pledge to remove debts. Here is our living room. Sometimes we call up the whole clan to have a Christmas party, and local people like to come here too. Some bankers have visited us, supermarket workers, architects, even the heads of church. And how often do you invite your family to the palace? Once per 3 years. There's no need in inviting everybody every year. Do they drink too much here? I'll tell you confidentially, they have to pay to receive an invitation. Maybe you should take money after the party, but not before it. Doesn't matter, we can take more of them, anyhow they're the tight-fisted Scots. Lord Patrick talks about money with a great sense of humor, because no matter what he does, he gets practically nothing of his property. The maintenance of the patrimonial estate takes more than brings. The narrow staircase, which the fire department doesn't let to have converted to emergency exits, is the sticking point that don't let the Boyles transform the old palace into a hotel. What can embarrass you is that if you examine the chips, it turns out to be produced of modern materials, but the house was built in Victorian period. It is a great mystery. In spite of the absence of family jewelry, the house of the Boyles is quite a jewelry itself. It is filled with such antique history that even its owner, Lord Patrick, can't recall everything. I'm not quite sure, but I think it's my sister.
I'm not quite certain who that is.
He says he doesn't know whether this woman is his sister or somebody else. And this is my father. Oh, maybe not. Oh, it's my aunt. He thinks it's his aunt. She's quite young here, you won't recognize her. In response to our rhetorical question concerning the price of staying in the palace for a night, Mr. Boyle answers with typical Scottish farsight. It is rather expensive, so I won't recommend you. But for example, if there were 16 people with you, the situation would be different. Generally, the price varies on your excitingness, on what you would like to eat and drink. And what if a family of 4 people would like to come for a week? It would be £150 a day. It includes food and room for a day. The Russian usually rent house for a full summer. A full summer? It will be cheaper. Do you want to come here for the whole summer? Then let's go. I'll show you the kitchen. Downstairs, please. When we asked Patrick to put on his kilt, a traditional men's garment of Scottish culture, the Earl of Glasgow responded unexpectedly quick. David, are you here? Could you please put on this kilt instead of me? I haven't put it on since my marriage. Do your best, David. I'll put it on, but it will certainly take some time. How long? Well, if I start right now, then it will take 20 minutes. David Boyle appears after 20 minutes, surprising us with his British timing. As asked, he came to pose and killed in front of the palace for our camera, but suddenly we understood that Sir Patrick had gone to the town with our radio microphone fixed on his jacket to have a dinner, so David had to drive to the restaurant. Well guys, it's not a good idea to walk through the town and kill, but if you want me to... Having returned from the town, David explained us that the pattern on his kilt is not a distinguishing design of his clan. From the inconsistent explanation of the Viscount, we understood that his ginger kilt was probably brought and left here by some of his far relatives. During millennial history of the clans, the Boyles became related with the many clans of Scotland. Our clan doesn't have its own kilt design, but it doesn't matter. You have to understand that it's just a game, and the checks can be blue or green. It would be strange if I wore a kilt with my Gregor's pattern, but this one is not similar to any known pattern, and this is the point. After the interview, the young Viscount, architect by education, started repairing the leaking roof of the palace. But in spite of all the problems, David doesn't even think of selling the palace and buy another one somewhere in the south of France. He loves his roots too much, the roots that feed the tree upholding the crown of Scotland. Andrey Antonov, Sergei Nadezhdin and Mikhail Nikitin, Scotland, Glasgow.